Hey guys, welcome back. We're at one of our HMO projects here in the north of Birmingham.
Yeah, this is one, if you've got a good memory, we were here a few months ago, we were showing what we intend to do on it. So now it's completed, or 99% complete. Let's go on through and show you what we've done here. Come on.
Right, so guys, we're in the living room here now. It's quite a small space.
Yeah, it's quite a tight space, and it was quite cramped before as well. So we haven't moved any walls.
No.
This particular project is we'd call it a light stroke medium refurb, meaning we haven't stripped it and gutted it all out back to brick like we traditionally would do in most of our projects. This is one where we've taken what's already here and say, how can we make it much nicer, much better? And that's essentially what we've done, yeah.
And I think when we acquired this, we only had obviously a limited budget in mind what we can spend on it, and we'll go into the figures in a moment. And I think with this one, I don't personally quite enjoy these kind of projects too as much because we're not reconfiguring, we're not making the things the way we'd want to. We're working with an existing shell. Joking around, it's like putting a lipstick on a pig, but it's starting out really well. We've had amazing.
But having said that, what we have done is wherever we found something that really needs sorting out, we've kind of stripped out. And in fact, if we go through the to the kitchen here, this is a good example of that. So here we had a kitchen that was okay, it wasn't bad at all, but soon as you started taking things apart, everything just started kind of falling apart. Now one option was you just patch it up, but we're never keen on doing that. There was a case, okay, how can we fix the problem without going crazy on the budget? So we've redone the electrics, partial rewire,
boiler,
replumbing
as well.
Yeah,
and we ended up actually getting all new units in here as well. Initially, we were thinking to retain the units, but as we already had everything out, we were like, for the cost of it well, let's do everything new. And hence we kind of went over a little bit of our budget initially. But it's done well now.
Yeah, we're probably maybe about 10 grand-ish, possibly overspent, which as I said, we'll run through numbers in a minute. Because I remember when we started stripping this down just to get the backsplashes up, the plaster started coming off. Then we discovered how bad the electrics were. And we'll link up the previous video for in case you missed it and not saw it before.
You check that out because you'll see how mid-work progress we were on the team working on this one. Just wanted to show you a quick sneak peek of the garden, right? So what we've done here is we just put stone down. So we just stoned it all down here. We've got a membrane underneath to protect it from any weeds. And then just behind you over here, this is where the guys just still need to come back for a couple of hours, just kind of level out the stone. We've got a nice little bench here. This is a double garage that we're saying at the back, which we will get let separately. And they'll generate probably between £1,500 to £2,000 a year in terms of rental income. We're still going to put a few nice little outside lights here, so the guys actually have some nice heating outside here. And there's some plants that are going to go by the fence. So it's just been kind of, painted all black, just tidied up, nice, clean, just a space for the new tenants to enjoy. Yeah, so let's go back inside.
This particular one we didn't give to a contractor. This is our own team, in-house, if you like, that dealt with this one.
Should we just go straight upstairs? Bathrooms, again, we work with what we had, fully retiled, new trays, new vanity units, new toilets, reconfigured a little bit internally to make the most of it.
It was a lot of it was just badly laid out. So this partitioning was already here. We haven't stripped out the partitioning and said, okay, let's redo the partitioning and reconfigure it completely. But internally, we've tried to reuse the space the best way we can, just to make it work.
So things like main changes here, we just moved the bathroom from one wall to another one.
The toilet.
It's easy, the toilet, because it was for easy to kind of rejig the plumbing down for the waste pipes, and just made the space flow better. In here, we've all the rooms, we've integrated rooftop spaces for them, mini fridges, additional storage space. All the furniture is custom to our kind of spec and size, and we've chose everything else we wanted. Smart TVs throughout. We didn't, again, you can see we have some trunking. We didn't go that
Hard
way.
cables, yeah. There's more we can do. With a project like this, we can always look at it and we say, actually, we could do this little bit more, we could do this little thing, and every little thing will make it so much nicer and so much better, but it also costs so much more as well. And the objective with this one is we've taken it on as a tied HMO with the intention of making it much nicer, much more attractive, getting really good income and getting it sold, because that's the intention we're selling it. So as soon as we've got it all rented, income producing, then it'll be ready to sell. And
with this one, we've really maximized the space how much we could with the design and the tech bits, and the rent roll is actually going to be quite a bit higher than we were anticipating originally. So let's go upstairs and we'll show you.
Talk about the rent upstairs.
A few bits here while we're in the hallways. We actually built this cupboard in here, so that's providing storage for the general house, so your iron boards, vacuums, brooms, things like that. And
where Henry lives.
We see time to time where people kind of do HMOs and they miss out communal storage, and then you end up going to the living room and you've got the broom in one corner, the vacuum in the other corner, and it just doesn't look right. So it's always nice
shop behind the sofa and stuff.
Yeah. And while we're here as well, we've kind of built in a little locked cupboard for the CCTV, the router, things like that. So just out of the way, tucked away.
Yeah.
And
the kind of need a little bit of tech that makes the place run well and allows us to manage things.
This room here is the second largest bedroom for one occupant, and we've had a tenant secured at £775.
Yes.
Which is a good ensuite room, which is a bit more than we were expecting.
Yeah, because when we initially done the figures, we were looking at less than these rates, and it still was a great deal, even with those rental rates. But now we're getting figures probably 15, maybe 20% more than we initially anticipated rent-wise. And a couple of reasons for that. I think one is the market conditions are such that the rents are really good in Birmingham right now. We're achieving some amazing rents. And we were talking about recently where we now got some rooms at £1,000 we're renting in a shared house. So these are really good rents for this area. And also, it's a nice house, it's a nice, funky looking house, designed really well, and it appeals. And the other thing we've also managed to do is get the planning approval now for 7 people, which makes a significant difference for a number of reasons. So firstly, with 6 people, it'll get classed from a planning point of view as standard C4 property. When you have 7 people, its planning classification changes to sui generis, so a category of its own. And then from a commercial valuation point of view, when you come to valuing the property, it moves into a different category, and it's much easier to get those higher figures. Now, we haven't created a 7th room, it just means 7 people can live here. So one of the rooms will have a couple, probably one upstairs.
One upstairs, and we actually had an application in for them. That's at 995
for a couple in one room. And then when they split that between them, if that's how they're going to do it, it's still manageable and affordable.
But I think touching back on the sui generis classification it's almost like a paper exercise. We've got an extra tenant, extra rent roll, and the end valuation is going to be pushed up. We could probably argue at least £20,000-25,000.
Yeah, and these little things that we do on the properties, it's from many years of experience of us doing this and applying those learnings in each one. And even here, the way it's finished, it's taking the learnings of what we've done before, what's worked really well, to make this work well, and to really create something I think that will work in the market.
I think we've got a great team around us. I think from the design point of view, we've got a great lady who helps us with all this stuff. And, it just flows. And again, here we've got a nice ensuite in here, a table just right behind you with a mini fridge. And so it's a good space. Let's show them the loft room.
Yeah, let's do that.
Nice room, and we'll kind of go into the bigger bit.
We'll look at the numbers there. So this is the penthouse suite. This is one we'll have a couple in here, and this is one we had the application. This is the highest price room that we have, and that's a phenomenal rent for this area. A few years ago, you could have rented a 3-bedroom house for the price of this room. And as I said, one, market conditions have risen anyway, but also it's having a product that we know will appeal to that market. And our objective with this, as we mentioned earlier, is really this is like a flip. So this is a little niche for us. It's buying these tired HMOs, making them much more nice and much more attractive, work for this market, getting the best rents because we know how to get that, get it up and running, producing really good income, and somebody will purchase it from us. So we'll probably sell this about 400, maybe 420 each. They're sort of thereabouts. And so overall rent, we think will be about
57,000 per annum with an included benefit, because we've got a double garage at the back.
Yes, which we haven't talked about yet. We've got a large garage at the back, which will...
so we're waiting for a new metal gate to come in, the shutter. We've got electricity power in there. We've got an access road through the back, which is again nice and secure. So that'll rent out separately on a separate lease. So bring the total income for the asset, generally speaking, to 57,000 pounds per annum. And look, we bought it at a really good price.
Yeah, we paid 250 for it,
250,000. So all in will be about 310, 350. We're still waiting for the final figures to come back from the accountant with all the total costs. But overall, it's...
so from our point of view, in terms of a project to flip, it's a nice, straightforward thing. So this one we've kind of done in-house. The team have done it whilst we're doing other projects as well at the same time. Yeah. So in between getting this done. So it's all kept our costs down as well that way. And whether it's this sort of 2-bedroom house we're flipping, it makes no difference to us. It's just doing a nice job, and that will make a nice property for somebody. In this case, making a nice investment property for somebody. So maybe let's share a few things that maybe haven't gone so well with this project. What would you say?
I think as we mentioned in the previous video, so if you guys tuned back to that, there's quite a few problems that we found as we were going through the renovation. So that we must covered, on plan cover. So we've had multiple issues with the plumbing side of things. So a lot of the plumbing had to be redone. Leaks or wrongly connected pipes or wrong pipes used, generally speaking. Electrics again were quite a bit extra on the electrical side of things, because we had to rewire the whole kitchen. New runs for the 2 electric showers we have, because the cabling was incorrectly used there originally.
So I guess a lot of this is the challenge around this is when we're doing our preferred type of refurb, where we just gut the property, everything goes into a skip. We end up with 4 walls and a roof and start again. We can create what we want. It's like creating a brand new house, and we know what we're working with. When we're building something brand new out of the ground, we know what we're working, what to expect, because there's less unforeseens. In a property like this, where we've got like a smaller or more medium type of refurb, we're making some assumptions when we purchase on what we're going to do, but we don't know until we start taking it apart and we start discovering, oh, actually, this isn't as good as we thought. This now needs extra work doing. And those things is what then starts causing projects to cost more and take longer as well.
I mean, in general, we've changed all the windows. We've kind of, done a lot of the elements to improve the efficiency. But overall, it ran relatively smoothly. As I said, it took us a little longer, as the guys are redecorating our own portfolio, as well as we're kind of changing a few things around. But it certainly has allowed us to keep our costs lower, because there isn't a builder making a profit on a job.
And even if we didn't sell this and keep it in our portfolio, we wouldn't be upset about that, because we haven't swept anything under the carpet. We've done a good job to make sure we're happy with this, and it's going to run well for years to come.
And the reality is we'll probably still end up managing it anyway.
We'll continue managing. So if you're a great HMO, look us up. We've got a fantastic deal here for you, and we can of course help you manage it as well.
And we're also looking for more projects. So anything to do with, we've got land with planning or without planning, commercial buildings that we can convert to residential. Still have an appetite for small bed and breakfast hotels or hotels, guest houses that we're looking at. So
stuff around Birmingham, West Midlands, that's really what we're interested in. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you again very soon.
See you guys.